Once upon a time, in a city far away, a knight woke up in a bad mood. This cat's normal state of being was grumpy, since he only liked sleeping and cheese toast. Today was his day off, but he didn't really feel like going out. However, the plan to stay in bed was interrupted when his stomach growled fiercely. Laying in his bed only made him hungrier, so he decided to get up. After he got up, he stood in his kitchen and realized that nothing in the fridge had piqued his interest. And then there was the extra predicament. He didn't have the motivation to make anything. So the only solution left was to go outside to eat something. Putting on his boots, he grabbed his belt and headed out into the neighborhood. Where he lived was a mix of small shops and residences placed close together in a cozy manner. He breathed in deeply and smelled how fresh the air was. It had recently rained, and the sun's rays felt especially bright on his face. He couldn't stay long to enjoy it, as pausing to check the weather only made his stomach growl louder in protest. As he walked down the street in search of something to eat, he noticed a mouse holding a picnic basket listlessly. He recognized the mouse as the scholar who lived nearby. It was a rare sight to see her outside. She was a bit of a recluse who came out every couple of months to have fun, and then she would retreat back into her lab. Even though her hands were normally covered in ink, he could see that they were clean this time. Those clean hands were gripping the handle of a very large picnic basket. It looked too big for her to hold. She looked too sad, and he was too conflicted. You see, he didn't like mice at all. In fact, he didn't like many people, but he still felt like ignoring her was rude. He approached her with his arms folded across his chest. "Mouse, you okay?" he said gruffly. She looked up and seemed surprised he was even talking to her. Even though they had seen each other around the neighborhood, they weren't close enough to talk. And well, the cat wasn't sociable at all. Normally she would just smile and try to pass everything off as okay, but today she was a bit bummed out. She mumbled back, feeling a little embarrassed. "I made a bunch of sweets and tea on my day off, but everyone is too busy to have a picnic with me." She then pulled the checkered fabric off the top of the basket to reveal several glass containers and a thermos. The cat could see that inside were cookies dipped in chocolate and small yellow cakes with strawberries and blackberries. All were a little roughly made, but still appetizing. On top of the large aluminum thermos was a tag indicating that it was honey lemon tea. What a tasty combo, he thought, and he licked his lips. She sighed and pulled the cloth back on top of the containers. As she fiddled with the handle of the basket, she grew pensive. It had been so long since she had gone outdoors, and she would now have to spend it alone. Unfortunately, none of her other friends were available to join her. They were all busy or too far away to come and have a picnic with her. Suddenly he spoke. "Well, I could join you." She looked up a bit shocked, not expecting that kind of reply. She hadn't anticipated at all that he would try to join her. They didn't even know each other very well. What she didn't know was that this antisocial cat had a weakness for sweets and comfort foods. At this moment, it didn't really matter to her what his reason was. This was her chance to have a picnic with someone, which meant that she didn't have to eat alone. She smiled big and shook with excitement. "Oh, I know the best place to picnic." They took her bike down to the lake, which looked like a sparkling opal among emerald trees. Closer to the water, the smell of grass hung strong in the warm air. They picked a spot under a tree with lots of cool shade, and the mouse opened up the basket eagerly, placing the sweets around themselves. Once the cat poured both of them the tea, the mood became relaxed, and they ate in comfortable silence. Although both different creatures in many ways, they enjoyed each other's company immensely. The previously grumpy cat felt healed as he ate by the lake. Maybe mice weren't so bad after all, he thought. That fateful meeting ended with a budding friendship. From then on, whenever the mouse and the cat were free, they would often picnic in that very spot, drinking honey lemon tea and eating strawberry cake. And a special thanks to my Raccoon Snacks patrons, Anna Gaylord, Arij, Aglay, Jessica, Julia, and S. Marie Carlson. Thank you so much.